Hey there, YouTube. This is DMC Jedi Man coming to you with a new video. So, I thought I'd take a moment to address a major problem that I see in the fandoms, and that is the influx of hate. Now, I'm going to mostly use Star Wars as an example, since that is one of the fandoms I'm biggest, the biggest fan of and see more of the examples of, but hate seems to be invading a lot of fandoms, like Ghostbusters, the Marvel and DC movies, to name a couple examples of other fandoms that have a lot of hate in them. And it's time to stop. Last year, I know a lot of people did not like The Last Jedi. Some people outright hated it. I myself have parts of it that I don't particularly like. I did like the movie mostly as a whole, though. In fact, I have liked both of the sequel trilogies, more or less. The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. I thought Solo was pretty good, and I loved Rogue One. I love the classic trilogy, Empire Strikes Back still being my favorite film. I wasn't such a big fan of episodes 1 or 2. I did like a lot of episode 3. I liked some of the changes Lucas made in the special edition, and others I didn't like. I'm an expanded universe guy. I'm not as big in the new canon, though I will read it, and I believe both timelines can exist, peacefully. But just because you don't like something, that doesn't give you a reason to go out and make hateful comments. Last year when the Last Jedi came out, people were up in arms, with the actress that played Rose Tico, and their hurtfulness caused her to leave social media, where she is not as close with her fans, not able to interact with them as much because people couldn't, discern between not liking things in a movie or not liking a movie versus feeling entitled to completely wreck someone's life. I mean, just because you don't like part of a movie does not give you the excuse to to say hurtful things to an actor or an actress. Not to say racist things to them, not to give them death threats. Some people were giving them death threats. It's a movie, people. A movie. Granted, a movie that has made a lot of impact on a lot of people, but at the end of the day, it's film. It is fiction. And we need to distinguish fiction from how we treat people in real life. The same sort of problem happened with The Force Awakens, where people were hateful towards Daisy Ridley. Again, I understand that maybe things aren't the way you imagine them, but the thing is, no sequel that comes out is going to perfectly match whatever people have in their minds. So you didn't like The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi, fine. Do you really think the best way to express your belief of that is to maybe melt down 100 vintage Star Wars figures? Does that really seem like the best use of your time and energy rather than give those to people who would enjoy them? You know? And like I said, the same thing goes for a lot of other franchises, like Ghostbusters, 2016. Again, a movie I really did not particularly care for because I don't really find fart jokes and queef jokes particularly funny. I don't feel that that belongs in a Ghostbusters film. I don't particularly feel that the comedy lent itself that well to it. I mean, I know the people that worked on it have done great things. I particularly like Melissa McCarthy in movies like Identity Theft or Tammy, and of course Chris Hemsworth. I can't really think of anyone else as Thor, you know, and I will be the first to say that Kate McKinnon stole the show in Ghostbusters 2016. The best scenes, I think, revolved around her. But again, toxicity in the fan base has completely changed how people approach these movies. And it really is not all right. I mean, the same sort of thing exists in the sports world, and I think a big part of it stems from our political culture nowadays. I mean, I'm not really going to go much into that because politics is a completely different beast, and I really don't know enough about politics to approach the subject that well. But back to the subject at hand, we need to let go of our hate. As Yoda said, fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. Don't impose your suffering on others. You know, we're all civilized beings in this galaxy. I believe we can all be civil about whether we like or dislike something without becoming hateful creatures, because that is the path to the dark side. This has been DMC Jedi Man, and like I said, please keep it civil and let go of your hate. Thank you.